So first of all, coming to lie down, taking your time, and begin to make any intuitive movements that you feel you need to. You find a nice comfortable space, comfortable physical space, so you can begin to make that a comfortable emotional space as well. And then doing the same routine that we did last week, tensing and releasing. Beginning with the muscles of the face, including the forehead, the cheeks, the mouth, squeeze everything and release. Then begin to very gently roll the head from side to side, with full awareness of the muscles tightening, loosening, releasing as the head moves from side to side. And back to the center. Hunch the shoulders up towards the ears and then take them forward as well. And again, with full awareness, slowly release. Feel the shoulders spreading away from each other. And lift the right arm and extend out through the right arm. And release. And then lift the left arm and gently extend out through the shoulder. Keeping the hand on the floor, reach out through the fingers. And release. And lift both arms just off the floor. Begin to run those lines of energy from the center of the chest out through the shoulders, down through the elbows, the wrists, out through the fingers, as far beyond you as you can visualize. And then begin to rotate the hands around, loosen up the fingers, shake the arms and let the arms rest back down to the side of the body, palms facing up. Inhaling, squeeze the right buttock and the right hip as tightly as you can. And release. And then the left hip and buttock tightly, so you can isolate just the left buttock. And release. And then the whole of the right leg, from the right hip, the right buttock, down through the leg, tensing all the muscles. And release. And then tensing down the left buttock, the left leg, down through the left foot, drawing the muscle back towards the bone. Squeeze as tightly as you can. And release. And the next inhale, gently lifting both legs just off the floor, draw the tummy down, a little bit of strength required there. Run the lines through the legs. And then rotate the feet, rotate the ankles. And release the legs back to the floor. Then roll the feet inwards and outwards. Feel how that movement comes from your hips. Find the most comfortable angle for the feet. Allow the shoulders to soften and fall into the floor. Notice any remaining tension in the forehead. And relax and smooth the tension out. And count your next inhalation without any struggle at all. Just see how many that inhalation is. Don't make it more than 3 or 4 to begin with. Because you're going to make the exhalation double the length of the inhalation. So if you inhale for 3, you exhale for 6. And as always, you'll get more breath into the body by expanding the abdomen as you inhale for 3, or 4 if that was 4, and exhaling for double the amount, drawing the abdomen down. Just finding that comfortable rhythm where your exhalation can be double the length of your inhalation. So this little bit of work you're having to do here, a little bit of breath work, draws your attention more naturally to your breath. And then returning to your normal natural breathing rhythm. And float the arms up over the head. And from here moving into banana pose, so staying, keeping the breath calm. So keeping the buttocks grounded on the floor, walk your arms and your legs across to the right. You can cross the left leg over the right as well as an option, which increases the twist slightly. Just enjoying where you're feeling that stretch in the side body, in that banana shape. And then gently coming back to the center and pausing for as long as you feel you need to before you can, with purpose but very relaxed, begin to walk your legs and your arms across to your left. And you can cross the right leg over the left. Some people this gives a bigger stretch. Occasionally some people find they get a slightly stronger stretch crossing the other leg over. But of course that's entirely optional. So allow the breath to find its own natural tempo. Just begin to enhance the awareness of you here in this position now, the feeling tone of the body, sometimes called. And then slowly return back to the center and bring the knees onto the chest. Moving the legs around, the knees around, loosening up the back if you're not already doing that. And the same as we did last week. On your next inhalation, floating the right arm up over the head and the right leg out in front of you. Circle the hand back around, bringing the right hand onto the knee. Changing the other way, straightening the left leg and the left arm. Circle the arm back around, bring the hand onto the knee. Changing again, right arm, keeping the elbow close into the body as you come up, and then circling the hand back around as you come down. Heel comes to the floor, leg comes to the floor, back of the hand comes to the floor. As you gently stretch out one side of the body and then the other. And the next time you come with the right leg, bring the right hand behind the right thigh and straighten the right leg to the ceiling. On your inhale, exhale back, changing legs, straightening left leg, left arm, circling back, hand comes behind the thigh, and straighten the other leg to the ceiling, single leg raise. Exhale back to begin, changing right arm, right leg. Circle the arm back around, bring the right hand behind the thigh, So you can have a very gentle single leg raise here with your right leg as you inhale and exhale, release. Changing to the left side, straightening the left arm, left leg. Going your own rhythm if you know what you're doing here. Circle the arm back around, bring the hand behind the left thigh and gently straighten the left leg to the ceiling, extending through the heel. Exhale back to neutral to begin again. Right side and left side, just going in your own time now that you know what you're doing, and the last time holding the right leg up in the air for a little longer, for a few breaths. Allow that leg to open up a little bit as you draw the left knee to the chest with the left hand. And then changing, straightening the left arm up over the head, the left leg circle around, hand behind the left thigh, straighten the left leg to the ceiling and leave the left leg there for a little longer, just allowing, inviting the left leg to grow a little bit longer. As you breathe smoothly in and out. Allowing the breath to find its own tempo. And then release and hug the knees into the chest. And then rolling around here. And you're going to find your way up to a seated position, either using your usual routine of rolling on your side, or if you want to, if it's comfortable for the spine, rolling forward and backwards, straightening the legs over the head, bending them a few times before you come up to a sitting position. And then from here, taking a block, just in case you find you need it in the next pose, or a folded blanket. And this pose has a few names. One of them is puppy pose. So a tabletop position with the hips above the knees, and they stay in that position and the arms out in front of you, and the forehead can rest on a block as I was doing, or if it's comfortable, resting the forehead on the floor. And you're going for a gentle stretch to the shoulders here. If you feel a bit unsafe here, then definitely better to be with the forehead on the block. Just allow the shoulders to gently stretch out in this position. So it's a very gentle arch to the back. If you're very flexible in this position and your chest comes down to the floor, make sure you don't over arch the back. Just find the right degree of stretch for you here. The primary purpose in doing this is to gently open up the shoulders and under the arms and the chest as you breathe comfortably and smoothly and quietly. In this position. Holding for another minute or so if you're comfortable. Anytime it becomes a little bit uncomfortable or it starts to overwhelm you with sensation, then just come back to child's pose. Just bring the bottom back to the heels. You're going to come out of the pose the same as when we come out of it. When I finish, you bend one arm and bring the hand onto the floor. And try and lift straight out of this position. And then settle the bottom back towards the heels and separate the knees as wide as you can. You can use the hands to widen the knees a little bit more. Again, option here is to have a block, we're doing thread the needle pose here. We're going to slide the right hand between the left knee and the left hand. Or you can have the block here as I have. Slide the hand through, the palm facing up. And looking to your right. Just move around until you find a comfortable position. So we're getting a gentle twist to the spine in this position, but also with the knees separated and the big toes together. We're making a very gentle stress on the inside of the thighs and the upper groins. Some people may feel that more strongly than others. Again, you're taking the knees just wide enough apart to feel the right degree of sensation, but not enough to overwhelm you. And then all you have to do, and we know that instruction is simple but not easy, all you have to do is follow your breaths one by one, in and out through the nose as the body enjoys the gentle traction of this position. And the gentle turning of the spine. Again, we're holding these positions for a little while, so you can always come out any time you want to. So coming back to the center, taking a moment, as long as you need to in the middle before you thread the needle the other way, sliding the left arm between your right knee and your right hand, palm facing up and the other hand on the floor. It can be active, the right arm, or just passively supporting you here. And as you did before, just breathing gently in and out through the nose, just seeing how many journeys of the breath you can be aware of in this pose as being approached in a yin yoga way. As before, if the sensations at any point become too strong, or you get any kind of tingling or electric sensation, that's definitely a sign to come out. If you're feeling a gentle stress to the areas you're working, that's fine. And slowly coming up and stretching out into child's pose. And we're going to stay in child's pose and just stretch the shoulders a little bit more by taking the arms out as wide to the side as you can, reaching the fingers forward. If you're getting a little bit too much stress now in the inner groins and inner thighs, then just bring the knees a bit close together. The main aim of this position is another opening up of the shoulders and the chest. And slowly coming out of this position. And we're going to come up to a standing position for sun salutations. So stand at the end of the mat. And inhale, reach the arms lazily up over the head, and exhale, half the breath out. Come down to the floor, hands either side of the feet. Step the right leg back, right knee down, and begin to move forwards and back, gently stretching the hamstrings in the front leg and the hip of the back leg. Step back to plank. Exhale, knees and chest and chin, or of course, knees, thighs, chest and chin. And inhale slowly to cobra. Move the head around and step back to child's pose. And then forward and tuck the toes under. Keep the knees bent to begin with on the tiptoes, then lift the hips up towards the ceiling and downward facing dog. And drop the left knee down and step the right foot forward. Lunge again and gently forwards and back, gently stretching the front leg and the back leg as you come forwards and backwards. And next time you come back, gently exhale and come forward, hang. And inhale, lift the arms over the head, and exhale, let the arms drop down to the side. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, reach to the sky, and half the breath out, down through the mouth. And this time you're going to inhale, stepping the left leg back and the left knee down into a lunge, gently moving forwards and backwards. Head opening and closing, and step back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. And inhale, when you're ready, pushing forward, coming up into cobra. And again, just for this round, a half charge pose position. Before you come forward, and tuck the toes of the back foot under and come up to downward dog. Walking the dog a few times, bouncing the legs, any other movement that feels good to you. And then drop the right knee down, and step the left foot forward into a lunge on the other side. Gently forwards and backwards. And then launch forward, hanging down. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head. Let the arms drop. And now with a bit more definition. Legs together if you want to. Exhale, bring the palms of the hands together. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head, looking up at the hands. Exhale, bend from your center, fold down to the floor, relax the head. Inhale, step the right leg back, right knee down. Retain the breath, left leg back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Follow the movement through, inhaling up into cobra and follow back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee down, looking up. Exhale, left leg forward, fold. Inhale, arms over the head. And with perfect control, exhale, lower the arms down. Inhale, open up the shoulders back. Exhale, palms of the hands together. Inhale, arms over the head. Exhale, swallow, dive down to the floor. This time inhale, left leg back. Retain the breath, right leg back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, following through. Inhale to cobra and exhale to downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Exhale, right leg forward, head to knee pose. Inhale, reaching up, pressing into your feet. Exhale, lowering the arms to the side. Inhale, lift the shoulders up and back, open the chest. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, swoop the arms over the head. Exhale, swallow, dive down, relax the head. Inhale, right leg back, right knee down. Retain the breath, left leg back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Exhale, left leg forward, fold. Inhale. And exhale down. Next round, exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms over the head. Exhale, swallow, dive down. Inhale, left leg back, left knee down, looking up. Retain the breath, right leg back to plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale to cobra and exhale to dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Exhale, right leg forward, fold. Inhale and exhale. And now holding postures for a few breaths. Inhale, arms over the head. Exhale, swallow, dive down slowly to the floor, keeping the knees bent. Just allowing the body to sink into this position. Next inhale, step back with the right leg, high lunge. And hold gently, easing the left hip forward, easing the right hip back. Fingertips on the floor or hands flat. And drop the right knee to the floor and inhale and lift the arms up over the head, palms facing. Then take the arms back a little bit towards the ears and sink down through the hips. Again, the left hip gently moving forward, the right hip moving back to intensify the stretch. And bring the hands to the floor and step the left leg back to plank. Holding plank. Exhale, then knees down. You can keep them on the floor if you want to, or keep the knees off the floor. Hold for a few breaths. Ujjayi breath if you need it. Next time you exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor, or all the way down in one movement. All your weight on your chest, your knees, your hands, and your feet. Tummy off the floor. Gentle arch in the lower back. Then flatten the front body to the floor and inhale to cobra. Elbows in, shoulder blades sliding down towards the feet. And on the next exhalation, pushing back and into downward facing dog. Again, find your downward dog. And slow, strong breath. On the next inhalation, step the right foot through, high lunge, left knee off the floor. Back leg a little bit bent or straight if it's comfortable, sinking down through the hips. And as you did the other side, drop the left knee to the floor. Inhale, lifting the arms up over the head. On the next exhalation, lower the hands to the floor, step the left leg through, head to knee. Allow the knees to bend in this position. Let the head dangle, let the arms dangle, let the upper body dangle down. Next inhalation, press into the feet to lift you up. Bring the arms over the head into mountain pose. And hold this position. Ground down through the feet. From the waist, all the weight moving down. From the waist up, light. Awareness moving up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Exhale, palms of the hands together. Inhale, arms over the head. Exhale, swallow, dive down, allow the bottom to go back as you bend the knees. Dangle in this position. And step the left leg back, high lunge. You see, back leg can be straight, back leg can be a little bit bent, but keep the left knee off the floor if you can. Because in the next move, you bring the left knee down and inhale, float the arms up over the head. Take the arms back slightly, so you stretch under the arms. Waist, from the waist downwards, you're sinking down, and from the waist up, you're lifting up. Feel both those complementary opposites working together. Hands flat on the floor and step back to plank. Holding plank here, on the knees if you need to. Draw the tummy up. Extend through the heels. Look ahead of you. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Bottom lifted, gentle arch in the lower back. Inhaling as we did in the last round to Cobra. Gentle arch in the back, strengthening the muscles of the back. And then back on your next exhale to downward facing dog. Ease the heels down towards the floor. On your next inhalation, step the left foot through into a high lunge. Start with the right knee on the floor and then lift it off if you need to, or if you want to. Knee on the floor is a gentler option. See what's happening with the breath. On your next inhalation, lower the right knee to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms over the head. Sink down. So with the right knee on the floor, you can allow that left knee to come forward a little bit, intensifying the feeling. And then hands to the floor. On your next exhalation, step the right leg through, head to knee, and the last dangle here. Press into the feet. Inhale up. And hold mountain pose. Ground down through the feet. Drop the weight down from the waist, down through the legs, down through the feet into the earth. And from the waist, gently lifting up, extending up, all the way up through and beyond the fingers. And lower the arms down. And then 2 rounds in your own time. And concentrate, as always, on making the movements an integrated flow, so you feel everything flows together, rather than being so aware of isolated body parts, just flowing smoothly through the movements. Smoothness, softness, gentleness, effortlessness. Visualize you're flowing through the postures like water. using as little energy as you can to move you from one posture to the next. And when you finish your 2 rounds, one right leg back first, and the second one left leg back first, just find your way down to the floor and pausing for a moment in Shavasana, and then finding your way up to a kneeling position. And then a couple of movements to gently stretch out the shoulders. So coming to lie on your front. It's like a variation of Sphinx, but in this variation you cross your arms, as I'm doing here, under each other. So you should feel a tugging here in the shoulders. You can have the hands facing up, as I do, or you can turn them down. Just find the version of that position which is going to be sustainable for about a minute. And just breathe. Just allow the muscles of the shoulders to gently stretch out here. And then slowly coming out and changing the position. So wrapping or extending the other arm under you. So trying to take your hands as far away from you as is comfortable. Remember, you can have the palms of the hands facing up, which is a slightly gentler stretch to the shoulders, or the palms of the hands facing down. So a minute holds here. We're moving into Yin Yoga territory. So as being as muscularly unengaged as you can in the areas which are being stretched. Relax them as much as you can. So relax the shoulders, so allow the shoulders to loosen. And this one my head is up, but you can obviously have the head down. And then slowly coming out, bringing the hands under the shoulders and stretching back into an extended child's pose. Come forward into upward facing dog. So slide the hands forward, drop the hips down. You can keep the knees on the floor, or you can lift the knees off the floor. Allow the head to arch back and then push the buttocks back towards the heels, drawing the hands along the floor. Slide the hands forward, gently arching the back, and exhale back. A couple more times, stretching out the back. And the last time. And back. And then moving into a supported bridge. So getting a couple of blocks or a couple of big thick books. And we're going to add a shoulder stretch to a couple of options, shoulder stretches to this supported bridge position. So bringing the blocks in a portrait shape and just finding the position there which is most comfortable, halfway between the lower back and the buttocks, feet about hip distance apart. And the gentlest version here is to just hold the elbows and allow the underarms to open and the shoulders to gently stretch. Alternatively, you can have cactus arms here, so the arms about making a 90-degree shape out level with the shoulders, or a bit higher as mine are here if it's a bit uncomfortable. The further the shoulders, the elbows are down to that parallel position with the shoulders, the stronger this is. The back of the hands on the floor. And then you can stay here, or a slightly different stretch. Taking the arms in a moment up over the head, crossing the wrists and turning the hands into each other. We've done this in a seated position, stretching the arms away from you and drawing the hands down towards the floor. And then change, crossing the wrists the other way. You see, turning the hands into each other. It's almost like kind of a version of eagle hands, really. Allow again the underarms and the shoulders and the front of the chest to gently stretch in preparation for shoulder stand and plow. And then from here, press into the feet, lift the bottom off the floor and take the blocks away. And then another shoulder stretch with a slight twist here, which we haven't done before. So coming up to a sitting position and then coming to lie down on your front. And then take the right arm out in front of you, palm of the hand on the floor, and roll across to your left. My left hand in this position is that you can't see. The hand is on the floor or on the fingertips. The closer the arm is to the body, the hand is to the body, the more you're going to twist and the more pressure you're going to put into that shoulder. And also the straighter your right arm level with the shoulder. Mine's a little bit down here to protect my shoulder. Because it's a bit too intense for me to have my shoulder a little bit higher up, more level, the arm a little bit higher up level with the shoulder. You just find the right position. If it's a new position for you, which it is for most of you, just need to experiment. Notice I'm on the ball of the left foot. And then roll back around onto your front. This time stretch the left arm out in front of you and come round across to your right. The right leg goes the other side of the left. Fingertips can be on the floor. As you get closer, you just get a little bit more twist here. But the twist will also put more pressure into the shoulder. So as before, you find just the right degree, as always, of intensity for you. And you come out at any time you feel a bit of a pinching that's unpleasant in that shoulder. Relax the shoulder as much as you can. And then slowly rolling onto your front again. And pushing back. And then from here, shoulder stands. So coming into shoulder stand already if you want to. Otherwise, just showing you again the variation with the blanket. Make sure the folded end of the blanket is where your shoulders will be. Make sure the blanket is wide enough for your shoulders and arms to fit onto it. And you go just far enough back so you have a little bit of space between the back of the neck and the floor. So you're not compressing that particular part. And then you come up into shoulder stand. I'm going to come down from this position in a minute, but you just hold the position for as long as is comfortable for you. And as I'm doing here, don't try to get the legs up as high as you can the first time. Just find your way into the position. There's no problem just moving around the shoulders and the arms and keeping the head in the center. Not a good idea to turn the head in this position. And breathing comfortably. So there's a certain amount of musculature involved in holding this position. But as always, you're trying to relax as much as you can. And then allow the legs to drop back into plow, dropping both feet back behind the head towards the floor. At this point I come down, so just follow my instruction into plow. If you haven't come down already, of course, that's fine as well. Just holding plow for about another 30 seconds. And then coming back up to shoulder stand and stepping over into bridge, back up and down, or rolling slowly down from the position with control. And when you're ready, coming to lie down on your back. Fish is an option here if you want to, otherwise we're going to do pentacle. It's another yin pose, variation of Shavasana, but which really opens up the shoulders and the chest after shoulder stand. So taking the legs as wide as you can and the arms as wide as you can away from the body, reaching the fingers away. Lovely position to feel, to imagine the lines of energy here. Remember, from the center of the chest, up through the shoulders, out through the elbows, out through the wrists, out through the fingertips, extending as far as you can in your visualization, and from the center of the tummy down and out through both feet. These obvious 4 lines of energy in this pentacle position. You can run those lines of energy through the body with a little bit of definition if you want to. Otherwise, just relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the chest. And then slowly coming up, bringing the knees to the chest. Making any movements which feel nice for you there. And then to a twist, taking the arms out level with the shoulders. Your option of supine twist here, so you can just let the knees drop across to the left with the feet together. All the feet separated, nice wide distance, looseness again, let the knees drop left, or you can wrap the right leg over the left. Shift the hips a little bit across to the right to help you here, and then folding over. And when you get accustomed to the position, if you choose to, you can stretch your right arm up alongside the ear. So again, opening up under the arm. And your left hand can rest on your top thigh if you want to. Just breathing easily in the position. And then bring the head back to the center first and retrace your steps back to the center. And you can do, when you're ready, you're going to let the knees drop to the right. And this time, whatever position you've chosen, if you want to, you can have the right hand just resting, just a little bit of, just the weight of that right arm resting on the top thigh and the left arm alongside the ear. As always, head position is optional. And then turning the head back to the center first and finding your way out of the position. And bring the knees to the chest. And our final posture here. So I'm going to have the legs up a wall if you've got a wall around, or a book or a block. And you find the right position there on the block that allows the legs to go up straight into the air. Should be possible to get the legs pretty perpendicular there, vertical, to the floor. Arms to the side, palms facing down, a little bit of support there in the arms. You can also have a small blanket or a towel under the head. Option here is splits position and separating the legs to the side. You can either just allow the legs to be there, or you can rest the hands on the inside of the legs, just allowing a little bit of weight there. So alternating, just allowing the stretch to happen through gravity. Alternating that maybe with just a little bit of pressure from the hands to ease out. And then bring the legs back to the center anytime you want to. Or leave the legs separated. And then coming down. And into our final relaxation position. And as I notice here that my clothes are quite crumpled, so just adjusting the clothing, making sure that when you're in this very relaxed, very sensitive state in final relaxation, even a little bit of constriction, twisting of the clothing can just detract a little bit from your complete relaxation. And a bit of pranayama, the same that we began with, if you want to. So you find a nice comfortable inhalation and you count it. We were talking 3 or 4 at the beginning of the class. And you exhale for the double of the length. So if you inhale for 4, abdomen expanding. You exhale for 8, gently drawing the abdomen back. If it's 3, it's 6. It's just finding a comfortable inhalation where doubling the exhalation requires a little bit of effort but not any discomfort. And if you feel very comfortable with your first ratio, you can start to extend it by 1. So inhaling maybe for 5 and exhaling for 10. And notice how the diaphragm, the breathing muscle, has to work a little bit harder here. And then the abdomen has to draw just a little bit further back on the exhalation to get rid of all the air in the lungs. And then there's a slight snap back as the inhalation starts and the abdomen and chest start to expand. And if this is comfortable, maybe trying to extend the breath by one more count on your inhalation. And double it on the exhalation. That starts to be uncomfortable or difficult, just return to the previous rhythm. Or any time, obviously, returning to your natural breath, which is where we're going to go anyway. After 2 more rounds of breath. Just feeling yourself strong here like a stone, resting on the earth. Quiet, still, grounded, spacious, centered, calm. Just being aware of the natural movement of life happening within you, moving through you. And then slowly beginning to make the movements that you need to, the stretches that you like, which take you out of that stillness and motionless into a little bit of movement, but quiet movement, calm movement. Rolling onto your side, and then when you're ready, coming to a seated cross-leg position. To close your practice, and find a comfortable position with the legs crossed. And then bring the palms of the hands together. And to your forehead. Namaste. And well done. Never underestimate how difficult it is, whether you've done one of these classes or all of them or just a few. Just congratulate yourself for doing them. It's very difficult to keep up with our practice outside the class. So well done, and see you soon.